Thomas, gotta work.
I wish we had fucking music too.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I went by you real quick. I'm sorry.
I still don't hold. That's what I try to do.
Yes, sir.
Stop the points. I've never done it. I've never done it.
Is there good?
How are you, sir? Good?
Well, I learned how to fight, like when you grab
Oh yeah, I just want to talk to Carl. What time is the weigh-in on Friday? I don't know if I can get to because I gotta go to a high school football game.
Pro in high school. Pro one day.
Yeah, it's enough.
I made a bunch of people laid off today. So
What's that?
a bunch of people laid off at our paper today.
Oh, really?
I'm sorry I couldn't arrange for the live stream thing.
That's okay.
This is a concept.
Usually this is one day. My thing, I put on a bunch of people's pages and
It just means that ring really small.
what it is, the first, they just bought the ring. It's the first time they assembled it.
Oh, no kidding, yeah. Where is the fight? It's not here?
The Bourbon. You coming?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I just thought it was going to be here, like the
No, the Bourbon. I think it's upstairs. You see the old, Kurt's at the place like 70.
Where's the
House of Blues. The old House of Blues. It's called the Bourbon.
Okay. There's still the bowling alley here? I wonder. They used to.
An arcade right over here.
They actually had a PBA, like professional bowlers tour.
Oh, really?
Event here, yeah. When it was a casino. How much do rings cost?
I have no idea. I know they just bought it.
What were they using before? Just like bowling?
Yeah, most people do rent. But yeah, he bought his own.
What?
He said they bought their own. And he said for the first time it's been assembled.
Oh. Cool. So what is the schedule here? Is Antoine looking at it?
Yeah, he came up for.
DeCarlo?
Yeah, it was supposed to be someone else, but I think future might be Jeffrey.
So DeCarlo's going to get the watch and yeah.
He's gonna go.
Ceremonial.
Yeah, I mean, how much you know little Mike? I just.
Oh, sorry.
At least I say the right thing. Antoine. Vince. DJ.
everything was getting hot. That's okay though, man. I texted you and you said, Peter, man, when down the street, that's not him. I could have rolled it. It's okay though. Yeah, I do have that. Over here, man. What color glove did you get, please?
Thomas, Vinny. Let him no, you're part of that. Oh, yeah? Nope.
What we're gonna do? You're commentating with you?
Sitting here at the beautiful Showboat Hotel in Atlantic City. Mark Abrams here with longtime boxing manager Vinny Lamanna. We have another great card on tap for you on Saturday night, right upstairs, the Bourbon Room. Vinny, it's a hell of a card.
Always a hell of a card. You know, I think that we do a really great job. You know, a lot of local talent. People fight each other on our shows. I think it's gonna be good.
Main event is a inter-city rivalry, AIkens and DeCarlo Perez. What are your thoughts on the fight?
You just don't see this. You just don't see it. You have situations here where nobody wants to fight nobody. Now you have two guys from the same area, same town, looking to get it on. It's amazing. I think it's great. It's for the New Jersey state title and, you know, basically the bragging rights of Atlantic City.
The series has grown from the Clarendon. You did about 10 shows over there. I might not have the exact number. About 10 shows, about right over there?
Roughly. We did, you know, we started off there. You know, we started, you know, with nothing and, you know, we built it up. We basically grew out of it in the third show.
And now this is the third show here at the Showboat Hotel. The first one in the new room, I remember going to a show there about 7, 8 years ago. Former heavyweight champion of the world, Bruce Sillenfeld. There was then the House of Blues. This is now the Bourbon Room. Is kind of, from the pictures, it's got kind of an old school feel to it, as there's a balcony and overhang, you know, kind of like some of the old boxing facilities of years gone by.
Mark, you know what, it seems to me, you know, it seems to me as if it was the boxings of the late 80s and early 90s. You know, we're bringing it back to the old school, as you just said. You know, it's kind of like a Blue Horizon setting in New Jersey.
10 big fights. You got fighters from all over New Jersey and Philadelphia and the tri-state area, and there's a couple guys from Brooklyn on the card and whatnot. And you know, that's kind of like what you've been and your wife and your son and the whole team here have been trying to build over the past several years. It's kind of like, you know, not so much the worldwide appeal, but trying to say you're kind of planting your flag into the New Jersey, maybe a little Philly, a little maybe upstate New Jersey, maybe New York scene. Is that the case?
We're keeping it home. New Jersey's my state. New Jersey's where I started. You know, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, you know, they have great fights. And you know what? New Jersey has great fights too. And you know what? Now we're a competitor.
We have a terrific card. Some of the other fighters on the card, John Bauza is 10-0 from North Jersey, and he's performed on several of your cards, scored some good knockouts. Talk about him.
You know, I got to be honest with you. You know, Mark, you see when I'm here with the shows, I really cannot pay attention because I'm always running. You know, somebody always wants to shake my hand, or I always have to kiss somebody's baby. You know, it's like...
Well, it's always one hand, because usually your other hand's occupied by since they're not paying us, we're not going to say the name, but adult beverage.
Well, hey, listen, you know what? We got to have fun too, don't we?
Absolutely.
We're getting old, and I put in my time here.
Anyone out there? I see Jorge Zaya saying hello to us. Watch us. Anyone else have some questions? Feel free. We have Vinny Lamanna. We're going to talk to your son, Thomas Lamanna, in a minute. Antowyan is coming back in the ring. He's got his tape on, and you know, we're just sitting here. We see Dave Weinberg from the Atlantic City Press. Always does an outstanding job covering the scene here in Atlantic City. About Atlantic City, it's a good way to segue. We've seen a couple of the big shows in the last month and a half or so. We saw Kathy Duba. They put out a sold-out event at the Hard Rock next door. Your son...
Well, I mean, listen, was it a sold-out event? Did they give them away?
They put on a nice sold-out event, you know, at the Hard Rock. A couple weeks later, Top Rank put on a nice show.
Amazing.
Of course, you would say that headline. Your son was the headliner, and everything else was the walkout bout, right?
Well, basically, he should have been the main event. Him and Cardo should have been the main and co since they sold all the tickets. But you know how that works.
Jorge, this is Mark Abrams and Vinny LaManna. We're here at the Showboat Hotel. If you've got any questions about the big show or anyone else watching about the big show coming up on Saturday night, feel free to ask us. We're going to get Thomas Cornflake LaManna on in a second. We're going to throw you out in a minute.
No, you can't throw me out. I got to stay here.
Oh,
I'm warmed up.
Well, you can watch. But we actually want to talk to the fighters. So, maybe 30 years ago when you were
I was fighting
in the streets or whatever the heck you were doing. Well, this is a heck of a venue here at the Boardwalk. So let's talk about what we were getting at. I was there. Sold out show at the Hard Rock. Good show at the Ocean Resort next door. The first two, not to denigrate anything that you've done or some of the other promoters have come in here, but major shows in terms of major TV operation. I think it's not only great for the city, great for the sport. Even though it's not Rising Star, some of the other promoters, hard-hitting Miss Downing, they all run shows there. I think it's good for everyone. It kind of brings the life of boxing back in. You guys have been holding the fort down, grassroots, kind of keeping everything afloat. Right by the ocean, like that.
Right, like that's good. The snow, the sand rather.
But
listen, here's the way it works.
The whole landscape, and like you said, you've been coming around for years. You were at all the big fights at the Trump Plaza when conventional, when there were 3 fights a week here in Atlantic City.
Loved it.
I don't know if it's ever going to return to that,
It could.
Well, I don't know, 3 fights a week, but we get a handful of those major fights every year. They're not all going out to Vegas. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that with these new casinos that are just opened up, especially the Hard Rock, the Hard Rock's into boxing. They basically have an in-house promoter. They do bring people in, but they are going to be the backbone of Atlantic City boxing, big-time boxing.
Shout out to John, I don't know how to pronounce it, Setchun, who's watching us today.
I can't see that far, but hello, John.
I see Maria and Tarvis Sims, the former...
Love the Sims. I love the Sims. They're
former
great.
Super middleweight contenders. So our guy Jeff Rutizer was joining us. Anyone else who's got a question why AIkens is still taping up his hands, in terms of getting back in the ring. He's going to fight DeCarlo Perez. I told DeCarlo to be here 30 minutes ago.
That's a fighter for you.
And actually, I talked to his manager, Will Alejandro, and he said, we'll be there at 12:45. It's now 1:15.
Well, there was a lot of traffic coming in.
Oh,
yeah, they had the big boat parade outside. There's about 4,000 yachts. I just can't understand how they're all, on dry land with no water.
Well, where's your yacht?
My yacht's, I took it in on the ocean. I'm parked in the marina.
In the marina?
Yeah.
Right by the Borgata, right?
Right there. And then I took the limo over. Listen, to be honest with you, this got to get going because I have to fly out to Paris just to be back here for the fight on Saturday. So we got to get this going.
He'll be here all week, Vinny LaManna. He'll be in the lobby taking donations. So, like I said, we got a good card. I'm going to try to get your son in here, get Thomas LaManna in here. Vinny, if we got any time left over, we'll get you back on the air.
I would love it.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Got one LaManna out. We're going to bring another one in. Mic you up here, Thomas LaManna. Thomas LaManna now joining us. Cornflake, 27 or 28-2?
26-2.
26-2. I was wrong
and
both
one.
And one draw. So we're a couple days away from this great event here. We talked to your dad a little bit about it. Great inner city super middleweight bout between DeCarlo Perez and Antowyan. What are your thoughts?
Look, this is the type of fight that the local scene, the local boxing scene could really use. You see a lot of Philly versus Philly fights. You got New York, the boroughs fighting each other, in New York. But you don't really see, you see some Jersey versus Jersey, like the last card we had Chris Thomas fight Darryl Bunting for the state title, Dan Pastrolli and Keon Davis for the state title. Now you got not only 2 New Jersey fighters fighting each other, but you have 2 New Jersey fighters fighting each other from the same town. Atlantic City.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Hey, well, by the way, just let me interrupt you. I've got a nice building audience. Anyone has any questions for Thomas Lamanna, feel free to. We'll get you on the air.
Absolutely.
So we're talking to your dad. It kind of like the rising star concept has been this, Atlantic City, South Jersey, touching Philly a little bit, touching North Jersey, touching New York a little bit. Kind of like this tri-state area kind of thing. What are your thoughts on that?
My thought is exactly like you said. I mean, I like to have a platform available for the local fighters to build their record, get fights, stay active. Not only in New Jersey, but like I said, we got some Philly fighters on the show, New York fighters on the show, and just give an opportunity. Just give opportunities. That's all.
Inner city fight, Antowyan, and here comes Antowyan back in the ring. He's gonna shadow box a little, maybe hit the pads a little bit. What do you think of this fight on Saturday night?
I think this fight really has a look. It's bragging rights. It's very personal as well. I feel like it's very personal for both of these guys. They know each other. They came up with each other. Man, what I think about this fight, it's my honest opinion is it's will versus skill. At the end of the day, I believe AIkens is the better skilled boxer, but DeCarlo Perez is gritty, and he's just like really grimy in the ring, grimy in the gym, just real grimy. And if Antowyan can overcome that, it will be a very interesting fight going the 8 rounds.
We got a bunch of people watching. Well, I want some questions. Come on.
Yeah, give me some questions.
I got 26-2-1 Thomas Lamanna sitting next to me. I got AIkens is about to enter the ring to shadow box. He just entered the ring, and so let's get some questions out there.
Yeah, definitely get some questions.
Talk about the rest of the card. You got a kid out in North Jersey named John Bauza, who I believe now is going to be elevated to the co-feature bout, possibly. Talk about him. I know he's fought on several of the cards here.
Absolutely.
And
so John Bauza is going to be the co-feature. You got Antowyan DeCarlo, obviously, as the main event. You got an Atlantic City fighter, Isaiah Hart, making his pro debut. Greg Jackson, who's really from Atlantic City, residing in Philly. He's on the card.
And by the way, this in the all black here, that is Isaiah Hart, right?
Yeah.
If I'm mistaken, he's been making his pro debut. And we got AIkens in the red. They'll be obviously fighting in separate bouts. Talk about some of the other prospects on the card.
Yeah, well, I got rising star prospect Nahir Wu Albright, 3-1, lightweight from Sicklerville, really from Philly, but living in Sicklerville, New Jersey. You got a fighter from New York, Travis Toledo, fighting Talik Taylor, who's another rising star fighter. I really don't remember everybody who's on the card, but I'm
interesting
really
fighter by name of from Maryland named Jamal Dyer.
Jamal Dyer fighting.
Who's fought pretty well.
Yeah, he's fighting Marcus Lugo. You should get this. This is, fighting Marcus Lugo from Ireland. So that's gonna be a really good fight. It's gonna be a great night. It's gonna be a great night. I got CC Taylor and Althea Saunders, who's a pro fighter, singing the national anthem.
She sang the national anthem a lot of fights over the years.
But now it's a duet. It's the mother and daughter, which is pretty cool. It's something different.
So is that Althea's daughter?
CC is, yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. So it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be great.
I was asking your dad. I'm curious your thoughts. Obviously, about a month ago, main events came with a nice sold-out show with Kovalev and Alvarez, and a couple weeks later, a show that you fought in right next door at the Ocean with Top Rank, and we're starting to see now, especially with what you guys have been doing here and some of the other promoters, and picking their spots here now. A couple of the bigger shows, the TV shows. I don't know if Atlantic City is going to come back to having 3-4 shows a week like it was doing in the 80s and 90s, but talk about the state of boxing, in the city of Atlantic City.
Well, look, I can't really speak on what anybody else is going to do, but I can only speak on what Rising Star is going to do and what we've done over the last few years. Look, at the end of the day, we're not the HBOs, and we don't have, we don't do the HBO stuff, and which is cool because I'd rather keep a club show, club scene level. But we've been keeping boxing like steady over the last 4 years consistently.
You see Greg Jackson, who
Yeah. Like I said, Greg's really from Atlantic City. He lives in Philly, but he's an Atlantic City guy as well. You know what I mean? We got out here in the Superman shirt, with the yellow shoes. You know what I mean? So it's a great fight, man. It's a great night of fights, man. I can't wait.
It's a terrific night.
I can't wait.
Tomorrow we'll be back at you with the press conference. Friday be the weigh-in.
Yeah.
On here at the Showboat Hotel. The Showboat, talk about kind of like this is kind of a little bit of a graduation day to a point. I was talking with your dad. The Claridge, then you come into the Showboat,
Yeah.
and now you're kind of graduating up to a room that used to be the House of
Bourbon
Blues. That used to be the House of Blues. They had several fight cards there 7-8 years ago. Talk about this new room, the Bourbon Room. It kind of has an old school feel with the balcony and everything there.
And that's look, I can't wait to see, especially the way we have the ring set up. It's a custom ring where it's gonna be centered in the room where the people up on the balcony can look down, kind of like the Blue Horizon. Then we're gonna have tables on the stage, like for the VIP guests and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, call it a graduation. I just call it like I knew my time would come. I knew Rising Star's time would come where we get the recognition that we are entitled of getting. And you know, it's only on the bigger and better. Showboat's been great to me. I think we've been really great to Showboat. Hey, and Claridge is really good to me, and I think we've been really good to Claridge as well. You know, so I'm just looking to bring boxing back to Atlantic City, keep it alive, keep me active, keep these young fighters active, give them opportunities that I was given coming up. You know what I mean? And yeah, just be great along with all them.
Should be a great night of fights. What do you got going on? You just came off the nice victory on ESPN Plus against Matthew Strode about 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
What are you looking to do next?
Right now, I'm just relaxing. I'm chilling. I'm gonna get back in the gym heavy next week after this show, so I could I don't gotta worry about nothing. And look, November 3rd, I'm back.
Are you fighting on November 3rd? Or you're...
3rd, yeah, I'm fighting November 3rd.
Okay.
I'm gonna be right
I know
back.
you'd mentioned that's gonna be the next card. I didn't know if you were.
I'm gonna fight November 3rd. Keep myself busy until I get a call. And yeah.
Well, what is the mindset? You're now ranked, I believe, 12 now by the WBO. What is the mindset? What's the call? I mean,
I want to be a world champion.
But if that's, you know, I mean, do you expect that to be the call, or you expect that, or you expect some kind of an eliminator, fight a top 5?
Yeah, let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. I'm not gonna get called to fight Terrence Crawford, who's the WBO champ at welterweight, tomorrow. Let's be realistic. But I would really like to see myself. Fighting a top 10 guy, fighting an eliminator, getting a chance to really prove myself on a high level. But I'm not gonna fight a top 10 guy off TV or in the dark and stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm really looking forward to getting an opportunity against a world-rated guy and an eliminator, and then put myself in line for a title.
Let me ask you this: so you were talking about Rising Star Promotions and growing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When do you see yourself maybe being able to promote one of those type of fights, with maybe you promoting the fight against that top 5 guy? I mean, do you see that in the near future?
What would happen is...
Or is that something that you envision in the future? No?
Okay. Because, look, if it's me, the individual fighter, fighting, and I get that opportunity, you know, I'm sure business logistics will call for having Rising Star as a co-promoter. That's cool, but me physically with Rising Star, I tell everybody, I don't want to be more than what this is. I love club show boxing. I love club scene boxing, and that's nothing more than I want to be. I love it, and this is what I want to do. I want to do 10 round. I want to do 10 fight cards at the Showboat with 1,000 people there, with great fights, with locals fighting locals. That's my niche. That's what I want to do.
Got a ton of people hitting likes, and come on, we need some questions. I think we're going to have Antoine. Have Antoine just do the mitts. Let me. You want to talk to your fans out there while I clear this ring? Yeah.
Shoot, I'll talk to my fan. So we're here. All right. In the media workout.
What's up, Bonnie, man? You alright? Yep. That was a lot of weight. Sounded like corn.
That's it.
It begins.
Antowyan's about to get in the ring, do some mitts. I'm gonna go make sure everything's cool. I'm gonna get in the ring right now.
In fact, maybe we'll call over Greg Jackson to talk.
Yeah, because everybody had, you sent all the links to everybody.
I sent
Everybody.
as many people as I could, yeah.
Designer wraps,
Yeah.
showboat,
Oh, yeah.
all that.
Greg Jackson, come over here.
Gotcha.
Yeah, mic you up. Here we are with welterweight Greg Jackson. Greg, what's going on? Well, first of all, what's that thing growing out your nose?
It's my nose ring, man.
When'd you get that?
About a month ago.
Would you lose a bet?
No, I'm just different, man. I'm not like everybody else.
You can say that. So what's going on?
Hey.
Talk to us about what's going on here.
No, I'm just getting prepared. Boy, what was this the last little bit shakedown, you know, media workout. Then we come back tomorrow for the press conference, weigh in on Friday, then it's go time on Saturday.
So what's your mindset now? Like I said, we're about 3 days out. What's your mindset? What's your mindset now? You're 3 days out. I mean, obviously, I know different fighters have different ways of going about their business. So Wednesday before a fight on Saturday. What's Greg Jackson thinking?
He shot at me.
He shot at you? You want to care to explain?
It's my mental preparation, because I feel as though that if you're trying to take my life, it's going to be you rather than me. So I take it there. That's through my sparring sessions. That's through the workouts. You know what I mean? Like everything. And then on top of that, I had a hard camp, physically and mentally. And I always say that, like before I'm sparring or before I'm about to work out, like, oh, he shot at me, for the simple fact that it brings a lot of aggression out. It brings a lot of anger out. It puts me in the mental focus that I need to be. So I always say that, especially when it comes to like battle, when it comes to battle and war.
You've been in some tough fights. I mean, your record says 8-7, but you're definitely a guy who's better than that.
Correct.
You've been in some tough fights. What have you learned, maybe through the losses that has maybe made you a better fighter? I mean, some of those fights, I know the fight up in North Jersey against, I guess it was Rodriguez, was a fight that most people thought you won before a riot broke out in the stands. And,
Correct.
To take us through that, like what you may have learned over the last couple of years and some of those tough outings.
I learned that being in this business, there's no such thing as leaving it to the judges. You got to give it your all. With that fight, he was on his way out. He was on his way being gone. But still in all, even the other fights, like after that, just giving it my all, bringing it out and giving them all, and not leaving it to no judges, whether it was a stoppage or just a majority decision. I learned to just not let off the gas. And I had that, and I had a lot of problems, and I had that in a lot of fights, like past fights. I'd be scorching a guy, and then I just let off, thinking to myself that I'm winning, and then it comes out to be how it be. A lot of them was like, okay, I really won, and they take it from me, and then a lot of them was like sort of the riot situation. So I learned a lot. I learned a lot from that. I call them learning lessons. I don't look at them as losses. I call them learning lessons.
You were involved in one of the most exciting fights I ever attended. We were up in, you know where I'm going with this one. Up at the Turning Stone where you fought Cornelius Whitlock in a tremendous fight. I believe you got off the canvas to come back and win that fight.
In the second round, a real hard shot, like a real hard shot. Due to my mistakes that he capitalized on, and I happened to just pick up from where I left off. It just turned me into like, listen, the boxing is it. Like, it's over. I got to fight now. So everybody, that's going to be something memorable even when I stop boxing. Yet that's not the only fight that I want everybody to remember me by. See what I'm saying? Like me getting off the canvas and then stopping them. That's just not where it ends at. Like, I don't work this hard just to be known about that fight. Oh yeah, but remember that fight? No, I have a lot left in me. I have a lot in me. Like,
talk about the concept. When I say the word Philly fighter, what comes to your mind?
The grit, to believe it or not, the hate that makes you hungry for wanting to grow. The negativity that's surrounded by you every day in and day out. That you have to wake up to, that you see the kids go through, that you see your kids go through, that you go through. Just the energy that's out there. A lot of it be positive, more so a lot more be negative, and you grow from that. Like, you just want different. Like you wanting to be different from what's surrounded. It allows you to just overcome that. Like, when you say Philly fighter, everybody could resort to the, oh man, it's rugged, this and that, but everybody has their own way. So mine is just like, just the grittiness and the negativity that just wants you to be better as a person.
We got some more things. Jorge Zayas saying he's interested in the fights. Jorge Zaya says that we can watch the fights. I think it will be online. We'll announce that tomorrow. Worldwide Boxing. Thomas, who just left. I'll ask him. Thomas, we got some questions for you. How hard is it to become a promoter and a fighter?
Hard.
He says when I'm working with him, it's so easy. We'll get him back. Ray McCline, head of the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame, joining us. Ray, if you have any questions, hit us up. What do you have to say? Any thoughts, Greg? You always have a lot to say. Talk about something. We talk about being the Philly fighter.
I came a long way, man.
Talk about some of the people that you've sparred with, that you've been in the ring with.
Listen, I've been in there with a lot of great people. I've been in there with Jesse Hart, Julian Williams. I've been in there with IBF World Champion Tevin Farmer. I've been in there with title where I think it's UBF title holder Brandon Robinson. Who else?
He's a lot bigger than you are.
Hey man, I've been there with Curtis Stevenson. I've been in there with a lot of great guys. During my Hank Lundy, Hammer Hank Lundy. Yeah, Tev. Stevie Ortiz. I've been in there with Sosa. I've been in there with a lot of great quality guys that's up there. And that honed me to be who I am today. I've been there with the Mitchell twins that started way back when, the Mitchell twins. Damon Allen Jr. I've been in there with a lot of good dudes. You know, the up and coming star 47-pounder Jerron Ennis, Ray Robinson. I've been in there with a lot of great quality guys. Like, I've been in there, and that just it honed my craft. It honed my craft, and it honed me as a person, as a man. especially in this boxing life.
Do you think that, you know, if you grew up in another town that you wouldn't be the fighter that you are today, or because what you said, all these guys? I mean,
Now the funny part is, as you say that, originally I'm from Pleasantville, New Jersey.
so we're right
You know
around
what
the
I'm
corner.
Yeah, I'm from Pleasantville, New Jersey. You feel me? The Ville made me. The streets just raised me. You know what I'm saying? So it's just to the point where it's just like it didn't matter. I adapt to anything. It's my surroundings. It's whoever I had in my surroundings. You know what I mean? Is what determines on the type of person who I'm gonna be. I'm surrounded by a lot of great people.
Couple people watching us. Steve Casper, is there a
going
grudge?
on?
Is there a grudge between Philly and New York fighters? You're fighting a guy from New York. What do you? Is it a little bit extra for you because the Philly New York thing?
It really don't matter. It's always a grudge. When you going against me, it's a grudge. It's a grudge. Period. Like I don't care where you from, New York, across the street, back door, back. It doesn't matter. It's a grudge because of the simple fact that you're going against me. So I have a grudge. That's a chip on my shoulder. It don't matter about the state rivals and nothing like that. It's just a grudge. Period.
Jorge Zayas, why do you think the Philly fighters have such a deep-rooted reputation in boxing as opposed to New York fighters or even fighters from the West Coast? I mean,
We go through a lot of hard. I don't know. I honestly don't know what a lot of other people go through. But when it comes to Philly, it's like everybody's considered the underdogs. Everybody's the underdog. No matter what they do, no matter what sport, we go through a lot. We go through a lot of negativity. We always put on the back burners or the back end. Always when you say Philly, everybody, oh yeah, they fight. Yeah, it's because y'all not giving us the respect that we deserve. Like we always fight for respect. We earn our respect. We earn everything that we do. It doesn't matter what it is. It really don't matter. I don't know why they do that. I don't know why it's like that, but it's been like that for decades. And it's going to continue to be like that. And to me, honestly, I like it. I like being an underdog every situation because it makes me more hungrier. It makes me way more hungrier. I like being an underdog.
my man Ray McCline, Mark Ames, glad to see you back in action. Thank you. I've been a little sick last few weeks, so I'm trying to get better. No, nothing you can catch on. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just so some health issues. I'm back in. Thanks, Ray. I appreciate it.
Hey, Ray, what's going on?
You know, Ray runs the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I know Ray. Ray, cool guy. Real great guy. Real great guy.
What do you think of this main event here? And let me ask you this: we're talking about the Philly versus Philly thing, or Philly, you being a Philly thing. We'll get Antowyan AIkens on. So,
Okay.
you know, we talk about guys from Philly. You guys don't want to fight each other. I'm not saying you, but you hear of, you know, people in the gyms, people in the streets, whatever. Two guys from Atlantic City fighting each other in the main event. What are your thoughts on that?
I honestly don't see the point yet. Hey man, that's what they're gonna want to do if they feel it.
Take your things off and come.
If it's about who, see, this is the thing. People want to be the man of the town or the man of the certain city. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than Atlantic City. It's bigger than the Ville. It's bigger than Philly. Whatever they got, that's just something. That's a chip that they gotta like resolve between them two. Like you feel me? Me personally, it's pointless.
The thing I'm saying is, I remember a few years ago when Derek Ennis fought Gabe Rosado. I'm sure you remember they fought.
I remember, yeah.
People were very excited about that, more than like your normal shows. And this is not here Albright, who's in the ring right now.
Correct.
More than like some of the normal shows. You mean I see at a lot of shows. We go to different shows. Some shows we go to just some fights, good fights, whatever. But there was a little bit of a buzz about that fight.
Yeah.
You know, and those two Philly guys who fought each other. And ironically, Rosado, the guy who actually lost that fight, we've seen the type of career he turned out to have. So
right.
I don't know why some of the fighters think that a loss is the end. I mean, I don't get.
Like, listen, that's what I'm saying. A loss is never the end, man. Like, just look at that. Just look at that. He lost a couple fights, but just look at the type of person that he is. The hunger that he had, where he come from, the poverty, and they both come from the same city. You dig what I'm saying? Honestly, it's crowd pleasing, but I still don't think that it was like I don't think it was just worth it at the end of the day. They both could have been doing the same thing on different sides, on different sizes, like different weight classes. Yet, teach his own, Teach his own.
Couple more questions. We got Antowyan Aikens going to be with us. What fighters did you look up, Steve Castro, what fighters did you look up growing up?
I started boxing late at the age of 20. So, but my way back in the day fighter, Willie Pep, and then I like a lot of Diego Corrales, Diego Corrales. That's my man, 50 grand.
Kind of a tall, lanky guy like yourself.
Yep, and like the rumble with it. He's with all of it.
And speaking of tall, lanky guys, we get Antowyan Aikens, who's
a tall, lanky guy,
chomping at the bit to get on here. Greg Jackson.
Honestly, yeah, that's mainly about it. And you got the new guys out here, you know what I mean? But still in all, it's like, I mean, I can only be the best at being me.
Well, Greg, thanks for a few minutes of your time. We'll take this microphone off you and put it on Antowyan Aikens.
Thank you.
Antowyan, you can sit down with us.
I appreciate them.
Thanks, Greg. We'll see you Saturday night, man.
Yes,
Thank
indeed.
you. Now joining us, the one half of the main event for Saturday night. The other half was supposed to be here. I don't know where he's at.
Nah, they hide right now. That's all it is. They don't want to look me in my eyes for some reason, so that's a sign.
Antowyan Aikens. So what's going on? We got 3 days before this big fight on Saturday night.
Yes.
Where's your mind at right now? Is it turned into fight mode yet?
Tuned in, man. Always tuned in. I've been tuned in since about a week ago, man. But right now it's here, and I'm ready to go out and do work.
Talk about DeCarlo Perez. I know you probably known him for 10 years at least, probably longer.
Yeah, man. I know him a long time, man. But like I said, man, that's the past. The past is the past. We here now. 2 men. We're gonna get in there and do what we love.
Hello, real quickly. Hello to Jose Bruno watching us. So, anyone have any questions for Antowyan Aikens? Chime in. We'll read them over the Facebook airwaves. So I asked Greg. I live in Philadelphia, and a lot of the Philadelphia fight scene, a lot of the fighters balk Philly against Philly. They don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You're doing this Atlantic City versus Atlantic City, so you and DeCarlo, you got to give credit. What are your thoughts on that? Fighting the guy, like I said, he doesn't live probably too far from you.
Yeah, it's just more, like I said, it's a step up, man. You know what I mean? Like he's a great contender. I take nothing away from him. You know what I mean? He's a true guy. But at the end of the day, some things were said on his side of the camp that I didn't like too well. You know what I mean? And it's nothing personal. It's just business. But at the end of the day, we got to take care of business Saturday.
When especially a guy you've known a long time. I mean, I don't know if you guys consider yourselves friends, but there's a respect thing when you say that things were said. But it's funny. When I talked to DeCarlo the other day, he said you're the one who asked for this fight.
I'm gonna make it known now, and this is not me. Like I said, if they want to make it seem like I'm the bad guy, then let it be. I'll be that guy.
Well, as
far as me asking for the fight, when I got presented with the fight, my intentions were no. You know what I mean? Because of the respect I have for him. But of course, that went away when his trainer got on the phone and told me we'll fight you for a Slurpee or we'll fight you for free. So in that aspect of life, I told my trainer, which is my dad, he's been around me all my life, I told him, let them make the decision. The decision was made, and we're here now.
Right, so, I mean, where do you think that stemmed from, him saying that? You think DeCarlo just wanted maybe to use you to as a name to get back into things?
Of course, man. I'm what they consider a stepping stone. You know what I mean? I'm coming off 2 great wins in Rhode Island against 2 great opponents, which Carlos helped me get ready for. And I kind of felt like they want that spotlight, like they want that, So why not call me out? Why not want to take the fight with me? Why not want to take the bragging rights of Atlantic City? You know what I mean? What man in his right mind wouldn't want to take that from another man? You know what I mean?
What when you look at the records, you go on BoxRec, you look at him. Kind of mirror images of each other. You guys both started out with a bunch of wins to start your career, stayed undefeated for a while. Then you guys both had suffered losses against good quality fighters. You guys have both fought good quality fighters. So, I mean, do you look at it like that? It's kind of like you guys can maybe look in the mirror at each other, and you see, not that, you know, but you know what I'm saying, you see your careers, they kind of mirror each other.
Yeah, they mirror each other, you know what I mean? Like I said, we're both competitors, we're both contenders, so we, you know, we compete. This is what we do, this is what we wake up in the morning for to do every day. But as far as, like I said, with the whole record situation, remember, he started his career off at 140. I started my career off at 168. You know what I mean? And I've been at 168.
And you've fought at 175 a handful of times as well.
You know what I mean?
Is that the difference of this fight, the size?
It's the size advantage, but it's also my boxing IQ. What people fail to realize is they take away the fact of my ring generalship. You know what I mean? I can box with the best. If I got to bang, I can bang. But that's not my style. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I'm very technically sound in the ring. You know, I was taught the right way. Everything comes off the jab, which I have a beautiful jab. So, like I said, he got to get by that. If he can get by that, then maybe, just maybe, he might have a chance. But I don't see it happening.
What's it like to be fighting here in Atlantic City?
Oh, man, it's a dream come true. You know, last fight was here, it was 3.5 years ago. You know what I mean? Some situations happen, you know what I mean? But we're long past that, you know, but I just want to get back on it. I want to get the ball rolling again. You know what I mean? Have my family, my friends come out, you know what I mean? And see me actually compete home and put on a good show for them.
Steve Casper, AIkens, you've lost 4 of your last 7, but you won 2 in a row. Have you had to make changes to make sure that you stay winning on the winning track? And if so, what were these changes?
Absolutely, I made the changes. The changes was I had to stop thinking I could do it on my own. You know what I mean? I do have a great boxing ability, but it takes a team to build a champion when it comes to it. So I took that aspect and I brought a good team around me. You know what I mean? We have, like I said, Vincent Jackson, which is my original trainer, Bill Johnson. You know what I mean? We even brought along Ivan Robinson, you know, former top contender.
And we see Coach Johnson in the ring working with Isaiah Hart. He's making his pro debut on Saturday night.
Yes.
You work with Isaiah a little bit?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I got some work with him. I actually got some work with the promoter as well. You know, Tommy, you know what I mean? He gave me good rounds, good work and stuff like that. And a host of other fighters that I really can't name at the moment, but we got our work in.
As Osnell Charles just walks across our camera, he's got no manners, that kid. No manners.
You know me, I'm always still in the show.
Yeah, that's it. So he wants to do, and you mentioned Ivan Robinson, who's just sitting across from us filming us. Talk about Ivan, the guy who's been in one major fight.
Yes.
What has he added to your camp?
Just that extra ring generalship, you know what I mean? Bringing in that you know, different angles, moving your head, stay off the line, box, you know what I mean? You don't necessarily got to be a power puncher to be a successful fighter, you know what I mean? Just go out there, let your hands go, and let your hands do the talking.
Which fight you think, win or lose, which fight, maybe you look back and say that's the fight I learned, because you've been in with some good names in there. What's the fight say, you know, I learned a lot in that fight?
The fight I learned a lot from was mainly the Bellows fight in Las Vegas. You know what I mean? At that time I was dealing with a lot. I had a lot of things on my mind at the time. You know what I mean? And you know, it was the past, you know, and people say I got knocked out. I didn't get knocked out. I knocked myself out pretty much. I took myself out of a fight, you know. I wouldn't necessarily say I was a quitter, but why put myself through harm's way when I know I wasn't supposed to be in there at that time?
Styles make fights. I believe he has a win over Bellows, and
yes.
You had, like you said, the aforementioned. Does that mean anything, or like you said, they're just different places, you know, in your careers at that time?
Just different places in our career, and it doesn't mean nothing. Like I said, my last 3 or 4 fights, like I said, I'm 2-1, 2 wins, 1 loss. You know what I mean? On my last 3 fights, he's 1-2. You know, so and he got knocked out last year, and he's coming off a knockout loss. And I'm not taking nothing away from him because he's going to come and compete. I give him that. But like I said, I know what I've done. I know what I did in this camp, and I know what I got to put out.
Where's your confidence level at this point?
100%.
There's two wins. There's 2 wins really put you right back in that winning frame.
Yes. And these was guys I was supposed to actually lose to. These was guys I was supposed to actually lose to in their hometowns, you know. And I went out there and I might have not looked at my best, but I outclassed these guys. But the reason for that, I'll say, is because of my training. What I used to do, Mark, was I used to do just pads and road work. That was it. I didn't even get really a lot of sparring rounds in. I would just get rounds in here and there, whenever the case may be. But this camp, I turned it up to a different level. I got everything I needed to get in, and that's what's going to be the difference in this fight.
You said you did some rounds with Thomas Lamana. Talk about that.
Oh man, that's good work, man. You gotta understand.
You know why I asked that question?
Yeah, of course, man. It's a mirror. You know, it's two guys who love to box. You know what I mean? Who can box off the counters. You know, so it's kind of like a mirroring image. You know what I mean? But it was definitely great work. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he put his work in. He put his best foot forward. I put my best foot forward, and we got the best results out of it.
I'm sitting between it. I got Lamana on the left. I got you on my right. I got Ivan Robinson in front of me. Between the four of us, I think we're all good. We're pretty good fighters between the four of us.
Yeah, man. I can say that, man. Yup.
So, what do you expect on Saturday night? What are your expectations?
I expect nothing but a win. You know what I mean? Nothing but a win. Whether it comes in the form of a knockout or in the form of decision, it's going to be a win.
Is a knockout to you sweeter because of, like you said, some of the talk that's been going on the other end?
It solidifies it. You know what I mean? It solidifies the win. It puts a stamp on it of basically what people think I am. People think I'm a guy who has no heart, who doesn't like to engage, who just wants to get in the ring, run around, and collect a paycheck, and that's not me.
What are your a win fill in the blank? A win does blank to the career of Antowyan Aikens?
It takes my career to the next level.
And what is that? I mean, tell me what that is.
Bigger fights, you know what I mean? More exposure, you know what I mean? Maybe more fights here in my hometown, you know what I mean? More promoters looking out for me, coming in, taking me on their cards, things like that.
Very good. Anything else you want to say in closing? Anything you want to say out there? The floor is yours.
Just like I said, Saturday. Tune in. It's going to be a great night of boxing. You know what I mean? Hosted by my man, Cornflake, Rising Star Promotions. And I plan on going out here and doing what I do best, and that's boxing, getting the win.
Well, Antowyan, I think your opponent. I see your opponent's manager. I think that's where a lot of the noise is coming from, if I'm not mistaken. And the manager, or you can sense where's it coming from?
I'm gonna make it like this. I'm not putting the blame on his manager. I'm not putting the blame on him.
Yeah, you can.
They're grown men. Cornflake, me and Cornflake are grown men. If Cornflake has an issue with me, or anybody has an issue with me, they come in and talk to me as a man. Nobody should be able to dictate your career or your friendships based off of them buying you chains or whatever the case may be. So when it gets to that point, I then don't blame the person. I blame the man. You get what I'm saying? So as a man, I don't respect neither one of them.
So after the fight, or
after the fight is after the fight. We shake hands and
I love this sport.
We shake hands and we keep it pushing, man. But at the end of the day, it was a statement that was said, and I'm gonna make it, and I'm gonna let it be known right now. A statement was said that he told my little brother to go fuck my mother, and I'm sorry for the vulgar language, but one thing you don't do is you don't bring my family or my personal life in this. And once you do that, it's done. It's done after that.
You gotta give me the heads up. Like I hit the 7-second delay button.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry about that, Mr. Mark. It's just one of those things, man. It's just a touchy subject, man. But just like I said, Saturday night, if you ain't get your ticket, come out and get your ticket, because it's going to be one of those fights that's going to be talked about for a long time.
It's going to be a great fight,
yes,
a great night. We will see you on Saturday night here at the Showboat Hotel.
Yes, sir.
Right on the Boardwalk.
Yes.
The weather's still nice, so people should come down. Maybe come down early, go on the beach a little bit on Saturday afternoon, and
let your hair down a little bit. You know what I mean? Enjoy the scene, enjoy the sights and the sounds of the city.
You know why? Because in about 2 months, it'll be nothing but like wind and snow and stuff like that. So we need you to get your last glimpses of the summer here.
Yes.
So we get Nahir Albright in here. Nahir.
Right.
You're in the. Get Nahir Albright on.
Yes, sir.
Go. We wish you best of luck. We'll see you on Saturday night.
All right. See you guys Saturday, man. Tune in.
We are with, I'm going to mic you up here, Nahir Albright.
Yeah.
Here we go. Is now Charles, is he leaving? They got somewhere to be?
Well, If you ask me the question about the fight for Saturday, I might say something that
Well, you're Mr. Atlantic City. Who do you like?
Huh?
Who you picking?
Who what I pick?
Yeah.
I say this right here. Whoever get hit first.
He's what a diplomat. Get out of
Whoever
here.
get hit first.
Get out of here.
Shit. Get start running.
You're a Philadelphia fighter tonight. You're Albright. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
3-1, taking on Glenford and Nicky this Saturday. What do you know about him?
I don't know too much about him. I know he's from Brooklyn, New York. That's all I know.
You're from Philly. He's from New York. Obviously, in every sport, there's a Philly-New York rivalry.
Yeah.
Is it a little bit extra? You're fighting in New York, or he's just another guy in front of you?
Just another guy in front of me. Just another guy in front of me that I'm gonna get past. You know.
You, I think you come from a mixed martial arts. You've done some mixed martial arts. Well, I'm gonna say someone does mixed martial arts. If I remember.
My sister.
She's a wrestler. I know that. I thought maybe someone else was an MMA fighter.
Nah.
The notes were wrong. Whoever did my research, I'm blaming them. So talk about, you're coming down to Atlantic City, about an hour from, your home in Philly. What's it mean to be, all the great fights around Atlantic City growing up? Talk about fighting in AC.
This is a great experience. I fought here actually like two or three times, and I love the fans and the excitement. Like AC boxing is coming back, and I'm a part of that, so it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling.
Tell anyone out there who hasn't seen you fight, what's your style? How do you, if I'm going to see my hero Albright fight, what should I expect?
You should expect excitement. You should expect action-packed fight, speed, charisma. You should expect a great show. When you see Nair Albright fight, it's a fight to remember.
Tell us about yourself. When did you start fighting?
I started boxing at the age of 14.
Why? What got you into it?
My dad was a pro fighter. He was 1-0.
It's the best time to retire. Undefeated. I mean, to be honest with you, Mayweather, they got the same winning percentage. So
yeah. So I just took after my dad, and I'm just gonna take it to another level, take it to the next level.
How do you feel your career is progressing?
I feel it's progressing well. 2019, I want to be more active, but I feel my career is going well.
You're fighting a guy 4-1. A win looks good on your record. You get past the kid who's 4-1. Is that the way you look at it? Because a lot of fighters with a similar record, you see how they want to fight guys 0-7 until they're 25-0.
Exactly. Me, I like challenges, and it just shows me who I am as a fighter, and it shows the world what kind of fighter I am. So when I win Saturday, it's going to look great.
Talk about your training team. Who do you got training? What gym you at?
I'm at a Sicklerville Boxing Club. My head trainer is Don Clifton. He gets me ready. He's a great coach.
So you train in Jersey then?
Yeah, train in Jersey.
And what about? I'm sure because you're from Philly, whatever. You work out in the Philly gyms. I'm sure a lot. No, not really.
I go to the Cherry Hill Boxing Gym for sparring.
Okay, with Kevin Farmer, all those guys.
Yeah,
you get in the ring with all those?
Yeah, spar.
So talk about that. How much, you got Tevin, who's now world champion. Jason, who's in that gym, he was a world champion. You got Chris Diaz, who just fought for a world title.
Yeah.
That's when Thomas, I know, has been in that gym. Talk about that. You're being around those type of guys who've achieved what they've achieved. What's that do for you?
It's a confidence booster because I'm in there with those guys and doing my thing. Like, I'm not just in there. I'm looking great and doing my thing.
My man Matthew Rowland joining us today. I know where he's at. He's in the office I work. I work with him. And Matt, if you got any comments, say them now because I'm not there. So, where do you tell me how you plan? Like you said, 2019 be a big year for you. I mean, what are you looking for between now and say maybe the end of 2019?
Just stay active. Stay active. Keep fighting. Keep winning. And just keep building. Keep building. Staying active.
What number fight is this for you this year?
This is my second.
Second. I can't believe what not the two guys who've been talking the most trash in the main event, the manager for DeCarlo and Antoine's father/trainer Vince. They've been talking trash on social media. They just hug.
What?
Don't they usually wait till after the fight to do that.
Right.
So that's good. We won't tell anybody that. Talk about maybe boxing influence. Like you said, you start boxing at 14. Who are your besides your dad, who's obviously, who'd you watch up on TV? Watch growing up on TV?
I like Shane Mosley. That's one of my favorite fighters. I like, of course, Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, those guys, my influences.
What about amateur fights? How many amateur fights have you done?
Like 50.
Okay, so you did decent amateur career.
Yeah, pretty decent amateur career.
Anything you want to say? Get out there about the fans. This is your time. Everyone's watching. Tell everyone. They can hear us. They're watching the ring.
All right.
And just tell people out there.
Y'all can follow me on Instagram.
There you go.
At Pretty Boy Woo. Or I have another page. You can follow me at Woo Got the Juice 2, number 2.
So are you 2 Instagram pages?
Yeah.
Well, for what?
one is personal, one is just straight business.
Okay.
So
you're like the guy I see in the club who's got 2 cell phones. What's it? Don't tell me you have 2 cell phones.
Nah.
Okay.
I got 3.
You got 3?
Nah, I'm just playing.
I'm saying, you already see those guys in the club, they got 2 cell phones. What are you aiming for? And, they tell you why, and sometimes I just don't get it. Anything else you want to get out there? We'll see you tomorrow here at the press conference. We'll see you Saturday. We'll see you in front. Well, we actually did see you in front of the camera. We were filming you working out, and now we'll see you tomorrow at the press conference, and Friday at the weigh and Saturday at the fight. And what else you want to get out there?
I just want to say, come Saturday, I will be victorious, and I'm gonna put on a great show. So whoever watching, it's gonna be a great show, and just stay tuned for my career. There's more things to come. You might get a song too after my fight, because I sing also. So you might
hear all
surprise.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. Thank you. That was Nahir Albright from Philadelphia. Did a hell of a job. We are watching Greg Jackson hit the mitts. As we get ready for the big show here Saturday night, the Showboat Hotel on the Boardwalk in Atlantic City. We're back in 1 minute with another special guest. Yep. Put this on. We are back with one of the top boxing writers in the country. Guy's been covering fights in Atlantic City for how long now, Dave?
Oh gosh, a long time. Let's put it that way.
Dave Weinberg of the Atlantic City Press. Got some more comments. Where can we purchase tickets? At rspboxing.com. 55, 80, and 125 for Saturday night's big show. So this is kind of it's almost a Dave Weinberg special. Got 2 AC guys fighting each other. So it's good for a guy like you. You get some good copy, good quotes. Although I don't see DeCarlo yet. Is he here yet?
Yeah, he's here.
Oh,
Yep,
he is
he's
here.
going to start working on
Okay.
minutes. Yep. Yeah, I've been following these 2 guys since they started their careers, Antoine and DeCarlo, and I've seen them, come up through the ranks, go through some struggles, and now they're both are getting ready to hopes to restart their careers a little bit and get back on track. So it's going to be an interesting fight, I think.
What are your thoughts? Two guys from your area that you cover, Atlantic City. Two guys fighting each other in a fight it's a meaningful fight. I was talking with Antowyan earlier. It's two guys that really need a win to maybe stay relevant, in terms of getting to that next level.
Yeah, both are kind of on the outskirts right now. DeCarlo coming off a loss. Antowyan got beat in his last big fight. So yeah, they both need a fight to jumpstart their careers a little bit. On a personal standpoint, I kind of have a tough time when two local guys get in the ring with each other. It's kind of hard to watch because I'm rooting for both guys to do very well, but evidently they both feel like this is the kind of fight that'll get them back on track. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I just hope that they shake hands afterwards and they stay friends. And
don't they usually? They usually.
Yeah. You would hope that. Yep.
Last month, 6 weeks have been a real good time for Atlantic City boxing. And main events. You had the Top Rank show, which Thomas Lamana fought on. I had to say because he's sitting right next to us. And now this fight featuring two Atlantic City guys and all the stuff that other people, some other promoters, and the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame. You've been here when it was really good.
Yep.
When it was
not so good,
non-existent. Do you feel a little bit of the upswing now in the Atlantic City boxing scene?
I do. I'm cautiously optimistic. I mean, there's never going to get back to the days, I don't think, where you have like 180 cards in a year. But
Rising Star Promotions, they would do 180 cards.
There you go. Just the fact that I got to give them a lot of credit for keeping the boxing game alive here when a lot of other promoters kind of turned their back on the city. Really didn't feel like it was worth their time. Devin Lamana and Thomas really did a great job of keeping boxing relevant here. And then now with the two properties reopening, Hard Rock and Ocean Resort, that convinced some of the other bigger promoters to come back to town. Like you're talking about with Top Rank and main events, and I'm hoping that this is just the start. That even more promoters will find out that Atlantic City can be a big-time boxing town again.
Well, I think both of those fights had big crowds, and I actually think the trickle-down effect helps Rising Star Promotion because I don't know, it just kicks some more life into the boxing scene here, and I think it definitely helps. Rising Star Promotions, like you said, that this now I think what Tom said next. I know they about 10 at the Claridge. There's a third one here, so about 13, 14 shows over the last 2+ years almost, and there aren't many promoters who have kind of put their flag down in one little area,
right? And
they've done it within like a 3-block radius of it. And, they're building something now. They're building onto, they had a good-sized fight when Thomas fought Bracero that generated some buzz here. And now we have an all Atlantic City showdown, so that alone is going to draw buzz in itself.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, I was talking to Bill Johnson a little bit ago, and he was telling me how the town is already the interest is really growing because of the fact that you have the rare matchup of two local guys, and depending on who you root for, who you're a fan of, I think just as long as you show up to watch, I think that's the main thing. But yeah, it's and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Evander Holyfield too, bringing a show to the ballroom. Miss Downing has put a couple shows here. I'm really waiting for the day when Boardwalk Hall, the main arena, has a really big show. When that's going to happen, I don't know. Hopefully soon. But in the meantime, we've got plenty of good fights and good promoters to keep things interesting for us.
My man Philly Keith McManaman, he used to do a tremendous boxing blog in Philadelphia. He's got a couple questions. How the crowds have been looking over the past few months of the fights in AC?
How the what? I'm sorry, the crowds.
Yeah.
Oh, very, very good. Both of the crowds at Hard Rock with Sergey Kovalev and Eleider Alvarez, that was a sellout. Although there were some tickets given away, but still. And the Ocean Resort, the Ovation Hall, that's a tremendous venue to watch fights. And I'm really interested to see how the Bourbon Room does here at that Showboat. You guys are moving upstairs, I guess, right? After having some shows on the main floor. So, I'm hoping that venue as well will be able to draw a nice crowd.
And he also asked, who are some of the best prospects in AC? You have a name or two? I mean, Dave or Thomas Cancers. Give me a name or two that maybe look out for in the next year or two.
Boy, that's tough because most of the guys that we cover are already kind of on their way. Thomas being near the top of the list. Isaiah Selden being another guy who's not as active as maybe he should be, but hopefully he'll get back in the ring real soon. Antowyan and DeCarlo as well. Kind of interesting to see how Isaiah Hart makes out in the undercard. I was just talking to him a little bit. I didn't realize he was a high school track star who got a scholarship to college and kind of turned to boxing after that. But again, talking with Bill Johnson, he seems to think the kid has a lot of potential. And when I say kid, I mean he's 25, but everybody's a kid to me if they're under 40. So.
That means I'm old. I'm older. I'm 45. That means I'm old now.
So the thing about it is, and I don't know if you can hear me, but there's really no young prospects in the area no more.
It doesn't. Yeah, that's kind of like kind of what's holding the scene back a little bit. Like it's you guys who are like in the rankings and or getting close to it. Yeah, there's no like. No guy turning pro that everybody wants to see, and that's a shame because it seems like the I don't want to say the feeder program, but the younger kids, they just don't seem to have the interest that guys like you had when you were in teenagers,
So I mean,
I don't want to throw out names because of kids that kind of struggled along the way, but just when you think that there's guys that are ready to make names for themselves, they either find out their interests, they run into trouble out of the ring, they get frustrated with the lack of action in the ring. It's a tough sport to stay in, and to it takes a lot of sacrifice, takes both financial and personal to make it in this sport, and a lot of guys aren't willing to do that.
What are you expecting? Anything you hear? Anything? You're a guy with your ear to the wall here. I know Thomas said he's going to be back in action on November 3rd here at the Showboat. You hear anything that may or may not be before year's out?
Well, I know the Top Rank has a 30-fight deal with ESPN, and
they have a 7-year deal with them.
And Bob Arum is very good friends with the owner of Ocean Resort, Bruce Stelnick, and I know they're committed to bringing, from what I understand, they're committed to bringing like 3 or 4 shows a year here. When the next one is, I'm not real sure, but that'll be a good proving ground. And talking with Kathy Duve after the Kovalev fight, she was thrilled with the turnout here, and she has a very good relationship with Bernie Dillon, the director of entertainment at Hard Rock. So hopefully they'll be able to work something out. I know that Hard Rock, they're mainly interested in like TV fights, HBO, ESPN, Showtime, or whatever. So hopefully they'll get some more big fights in there too. Ellis Arena is a great place to have a fight.
It was a terrific atmosphere for that fight.
Yeah, it was.
And it was
great to see.
It was a heck of a fight.
They don't fill it with Russians. Out there, don't fill the car with Russians.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yep, that's true.
I think it's a horrible formula that they do.
I give Bob a lot of credit and Russell for the card that they had at Ocean. Yeah, it was all Philly, Camden, Atlantic City. Yep.
I mean, the opponents are, it's okay. If you're gonna fight an opponent, you're gonna be from Russia or whatever. But if you're a local guy, you know what I mean? Like Kathy Duva and them, it's stupid. Like they had one jersey fight on, and he was the opponent.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like that didn't make sense.
Yep.
Well, I can't let you go because we are literally on the eve of and Dave, who's the Eagles longtime beat writer for the Atlantic City Press.
Correct. 26th season.
26 years. Well, you've seen a lot of good and some bad football.
And some bad. Seems like a boxing, yep.
Well, the season is about 30 hours away. How many wins we get?
I'm going to go 10 or 11. I think they win the division again. Beyond that, I'm not sure. The NFC is really tough, as it always is. There's a lot of teams that expect to be right there. Green Bay, the Rams, New Orleans.
See, the Rams, I don't trust Goff yet in a big situation. I don't trust him.
Okay. Well,
I don't trust him in a big situation.
I think he's going to surprise you a little bit. But
Minnesota's talented. And
Green Bay's got Rodgers back.
That's it. You Rodgers. I mean, you got Rodgers, you have a chance.
Yep.
But I think the Eagles are right in there.
No, they are. Absolutely.
And I guess the other over/under number. What game are we going to see Mr. Wentz in?
You know, I was going to originally say
The second game, you told me
I
the second
originally
game.
thought because they're going to have an extra 10 days to rest, but the more I think about it, and the more I've been around them, I think they're going to be even more cautious. And I wouldn't be surprised if you wait till like the Indianapolis game,
which is
the third game after Tampa, or maybe even longer than that. I'm not real sure.
As long as St. Nick holds the
There you
fort
go.
down, I think we'll be all right.
Yep.
Well, Dave, I know this is your last day before the Eagles season starts, so I know you want to get back to the beach.
Oh, sure. Never get tired of that.
Just go to Dave's Facebook page. You see nothing but the beach and golf.
Stand-up paddleboarding. Yeah. I was just out there this morning.
So I mean, I think next week we're gonna be. We're gonna be in the 80s next week.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know what's going on after that.
Yeah, hopefully it'll hang on.
But somehow you'll find your way to the beach even when there's 6-7 inches of snow on the ground, won't you? So, well, we'll see you on Saturday night, Dave. I thank you for a few minutes
Mark.
of your time.
Anytime, appreciate it.
And
thanks for having
me. Can't wait for this big show on Saturday night.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Dave.
Alrighty.
The great Dave Weinberg of the Atlantic City Press, longtime boxing guru, boxing scribe. From the Atlantic City Press, we'll be back with another guest in just a minute. Thank you, Dave. That's the link I wanted to put up on the press.
Okay. Just sit right out here. Right back in.
Because I don't know what type of come out there. We copy it. When I'm so dead.
One more person coming up. Jake, we out, okay? One more person coming out, guys. You're coming now, so. Where's Mark at?
We are back here with our next guest.
You want to actually do me again?
Ask you some questions.
Okay.
A guy who's had a couple tremendous victories right down the street here, years and years and years and years ago.
No,
you're not that old. The mighty Ivan Robinson. For those who haven't seen him, look him up. Go on YouTube. Just look at his 2 fights with Arturo Gatti, and if you weren't a boxing fan, you will be. Jim Kurtz, our good friend, join us. What's up, Jim? I sent you a text this morning. I hope you received it. So, got all kinds of stuff going on here. From Douglas Hoskins, this is the greatest thing that can happen for Atlantic City. The city's coming back slowly. Keep doing what you're doing, and it will happen. Thanks, Doug. So, you're working with Antowyan AIkens for this fight. How's everything going in camp?
Everything is great. He's looking real good. Just teaching him a little of the tricks of the sport. Trying to help him with certain things that I was being taught when I was fighting. And just trying to make him better, I ain't coming in here trying to take over nothing like that. That ain't what I do.
So you had a...
I'm like the cleaning man.
And you have a lot of knowledge. You're one of the great amateurs. If I'm not mistaken, you fought Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah, you ain't mistaken. Stop acting like you don't know. You're right.
I only remember everything in the last couple of weeks. That was
whatever.
And you guys fought for the berth on the Olympic team, and then you had some terrific fights with Arturo Gatti.
Right.
So a lot of great fights on television that a lot of people saw. So you said the cleanup man. What's that entail?
Well, it entails that when the person brings me into their camp and work with them, I just help them on the things that they need to brushing up on. The little trades and tricks that I know of the sport, in the sport that they're not being taught. Basically with me, it's defense, and I hated to get hit. You know, even though a lot of people always say I used to like to brawl, but I used to hate to get hit. So that's my job, just coming in and teaching the fundamentals on defense, getting out the way, and putting themselves in position to punch back.
My man, the man who's in the ring, one of the men in the ring on Saturday night, marvelous Mark Fratto, the ring announcer, joining us. Mark, chime in. We'll hear your thoughts. My man Jim Kurtz as well. So what have you been up to? I know you've been training some fighters here in Jersey.
Yeah, I got a kid that's promising. He just took his first loss in in August. Javier Quendo, he fought
Ortiz.
He fought Josephat and lost. That was a great fight. Didn't last that long, but we'll be back. And I'm just trying to keep working with the little kids at the gym, get them off the streets, stay out the corners, and stay in school, man, and get a great education.
Mark Fratto said he just got off the train going from Gleason. Did you ever train there at Gleason Gym in Brooklyn?
No, I never trained there at Gleason's in Brooklyn. No, I just seen, actually I was just on the internet, I seen Danny Garcia down there doing his, I guess,
because
warm-up.
They're having a media workout.
Oh, okay.
They're copying us. Yeah. You know.
It's good to be copied.
Some of the fighters, I mean, you're a Philly fighter. Talk about some of the Philly fighters. Some of the Philly fighters that you see today, Danny Garcia being one of them. Tevin Farmer just won a world championship. State of boxing in Philadelphia. I mean, you're, like I said, even though you're in Jersey now, you're a Philly guy.
Yeah, I'm a Philly guy, 100%. Jersey is my second home. And, you know, I'm glad that Jersey is embracing me like back at home in Philly. Right now, the hottest fighter right now in the boxing industry is Gerard Ennis. Of course, Boops Ennis from Philadelphia, Dad Bozy Ennis, brother Pooh Ennis. You know, he's a great kid, something to look forward to in the years to come. And I love him. Also, my man Derek James, that I was on the Olympic team with, he has the kid, he Rose Spence. He's a great, phenomenal fighter.
Yeah,
so, you know,
he's one of the top fighters in the world now.
Yeah, definitely. So that's somebody we need to look out for. You know, like you, Mark, just love being around the sport and trying to help these fighters as much as I can by doing whatever they need to do to get to the next level.
Mark Fratto said he's looking forward to being here in Atlantic City. He's the ring announcer. He's going to be hosting the press conference tomorrow, which will be streamed live at the same exact location. I know we talked a little bit a couple hours ago when I saw you about Atlantic City. You know, you had the two big fights with Gotti. That's what most people are going to remember. When you know, when you're driving down and you see the hotels off the expressway, you get some good flashbacks. You think about those days.
I get a lot of flashbacks because, I mean, people that look up these records, now they can see a lot. I fought in Atlantic City. Like I said, it was my second home. I was 7-0 here in Atlantic City, and two of my biggest wins came with the Arturo Gatti fight. You know, it's great being back. At one time, you know, Atlantic City took a drought, but now it seems to be coming back. We have a lot of hot fighters, not just from Philly or Atlantic City, but all over the world. And hopefully, they get the atmosphere to do the things that I've done coming up throughout my career.
Would you say the two Gotti fights? I mean, I think I know the answer. They're the highlights of your career.
Yeah, I would definitely say that. You know, but after that, I had some great fights. But yes, of course, the Gatti fights were the pivotal fights of my career. And like I said to you earlier, Mark, I wonder what it would really be like if Arturo Gatti was still here today.
Well, he'd probably be, you know, because he was such a loved guy in Atlantic City. You know, he probably would show up at some of these fights here.
Yeah, I know he definitely would, and he'd get a great turnout. You know. He was a household name guy. Everybody loved him, and he was right from up the street. He was right from Jersey City.
I like to ask the fighters, you know, because this, you know, it's not like most kids. They grow up, their parents, they put them in little league, they put them in kids basketball, and everything like that. What got you? What made Ivan Robinson go to the gym as a young kid?
My dad had me going to the gym. As you know, as you say. even with me now being a father, when my kids were young, I seen something in them, you know, and it
So
was great.
he's a boxer?
No, he's not a boxer.
Okay.
He's a ball player.
Okay.
You know, I didn't want him to box. So when he was little, I gave him basketball, and he never put it down. So now he's finishing his last year at college in Cabrini, and hopefully looking to bigger and better things for himself as, you know, the year comes to an end.
Where did he play in high school?
He played at Paul Six over in Jersey.
All right, I'm a Cherry East guy, so.
Okay, all right.
know.
Yeah.
So you're a Jersey guy now.
I wouldn't say I'm a Jersey guy. I'm definitely a Philly guy, but yeah, I know parts of Jersey. Because I've been here, when I first turned pro in 92, this is where I came to live. So yeah, pretty much.
My man Jorge Zaya has been chiming in with some good comments the last couple hours. Said Arturo, he was an inspiration for many.
Yeah, because Arturo Gatti was that Rocky that everybody wanted to be and everybody loved to see. And I think that's what drove Gatti. Yeah, I mean, you know, as a fighter, some fighters have different ambitions. Some fighters fight for the money. Some fighters fight for the love, like which I did. I fought for the love of, and I think
the money wasn't bad though.
No, the money wasn't bad. I mean, that's your main purpose. But I come up in the 70s and 80s with Leonard and them when, you know, boxing was really what it was. We did it because that was our passion. These guys nowadays, man, they making it a business. They trying to make it a business, and it's really, you know, swindling a lot of crazy ideas and making things look differently. But at the end of the day, we still love it.
Keith, that's one half of our main event. Keith, Philly Keith. That's DeCarlo Perez, who's working out in the ring. We were talking about the business aspect. One of my favorite lines was when Larry Holmes came back to fight Mike Tyson just up the boardwalk here. It was called the Convention Center back then.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Ray Leonard, who was the announcer for HBO, said, Larry, you've been off 3 years. You know, he just got knocked out, you know, by Tyson in 4 or 5 rounds. There's Larry, you've been off for 3 years. Did you come back for the money? And he goes, no. No. He was brutal. He goes, Ray, they wouldn't have had me out there for free. So, you know, some of these guys, you know, and I think he made a lot of money that night. Probably like upwards of $4 million, I think, for that fight.
It's a lot of money.
A lot of coin. So what fighters out there today? You mentioned Errol Spence before. Give me another 2 or 3 fighters when they're on Ivan Robinson has to be in front of the TV for.
You mean who I like?
Yeah.
Like I said, you got Gerard Ennis, the DeCarlo brothers. It's really kind of hard to say with the heavyweight division. I'm not really too much of a Deontay Wilder fan, but I like to see him fight. I'm pretty much of a Joshua, but I'm really hoping that the heavyweight division can get back to where it once was when we had Tyson, Larry Holmes, Muhammad Ali, even Michael Spinks, even though he wasn't a heavyweight. But you guys like the White Kwawi, Bert Cooper, you know, all those type guys that made the fights very exciting.
Worldwide boxing, how does it feel now to seeing boxing making a triumph return here in Atlantic City, knowing that you had a lot of, like you said, 7-0, a lot of memorable nights here in Atlantic City?
I mean, it's great, you know. Like I said, and I fought in many cities across the world, throughout the world, and I still think that Atlantic City is one of the best, especially when it comes to Commissioner Larry Hazard. He's one of the best. So I'm thinking that Atlantic City is definitely going to be back to where it's going to be. It's never going to be the capital of boxing like Philadelphia, but it's coming back.
Good stuff, good stuff. Anything out there where you on social media, Instagram, any of that stuff, Twitter? If the fans out there who, you know, you had many fans. I mean, it's unbelievable when you fight on HBO and stuff like that. It's a powerful thing. You get fans from all over the place that you didn't have. Anyone wants to reach out to the mighty Ivan Robinson, how do we do that?
Well, you go to, of course, Facebook is Ivan Robinson. To Instagram is Ivan Mighty 2000. Email is ivanmighty3@gmail.com.
Right, giving out the email address.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, you know, you can, you know, a lot of people want to talk to me about boxing and those type of things. So, you know, you can come in and check me out.
All right.
Talk to me then. I appreciate it, Mark.
Thank
Always
you.
a pleasure, man.
We got DeCarlo Perez has got another round or so shadow boxing, and he's going to join us for you know, a quick interview. How do you as a boxer secure your financial future after retirement? If it don't make part of the sport into a business?
You have to save your money and make great business decisions. That's the only way. And the only way I seen that happening with me is putting money away from my goddamn kids and my grands. So, you know, I'm pretty good. Of course, I'm always going to be in boxing because that's what I love to do.
The son got the college scholarship, though.
Yeah,
right?
definitely. Yeah, definitely. But still.
Saved me about $100,000.
Yeah, but I mean, still with him flying all over the world and all that type of stuff, it didn't come like it did when I came. When I came, I had people do it for me. Nowadays, his parents gotta help. So you know.
So see, the thing is, your wife must be a good player, because I don't see you as being a heck of a player. I don't know, where do you get the skills from?
Well, I mean, that's a great question. I mean, you know, when he was young.
I mean, I know some of these boxers out there think they're ballers. I've yet to see a boxer who's a real good baller.
Player, yeah. He just took after, I guess, me athletically. But as far as the basketball skills, he started that at a real young age, like I did when I started boxing at 5. I put the ball in his hand at 3. So from there on, you know, he just equipped it in practice and practice and practice.
Philly Keith asking, you still doing I think you're still doing the amateur shows, right?
Yes, sir. Still doing amateur shows. I love the amateurs. Love the kids.
And where do you stage most of these shows?
Well, most of the shows I do in my neighborhood, Nicetown section, outside shows. But I'm getting ready to do a amateur show in either November at my old gym that I used to box at, Happy Hollow. So yes, I'm still trying to keep the hope alive with the youngsters and keep the kids off the street.
It's always boxing. Boxing is one of those sports where you see guys all over the country. I think of Kevin Cunningham in St. Louis. I think of Barry Hunter down in D.C. These guys, like you said, keeping the kids off the street. They become fathers, mentors, role models. You know, for some of the kids that are in the city, in the streets, in this, and it's guys like that. And you know, now you're saying what you're trying to do.
Right.
You know, trying to save a few of these kids.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the streets are definitely a lot tougher than what it was when I was coming up. So you know, we try to do what we can and try to make happen what we can make happen. And I definitely love mentoring the kids, you know, and telling them what they should do and what they shouldn't do. I mean, it's a great thing that they follow me. They can see me on Instagram and all that. But that's not me. It's not about me no more. It's about the kids nowadays.
Well, how much of what you accomplish as a professional, you know, you could always pop in the you can always pop in the YouTube or the DVD and say, hey, this is me. I fought from 3 million people on HBO. And, I made some money and because I worked hard. And you know, it's almost like, just see that, and it's possible.
Yeah, it is possible. But what I try to tell the kids, I always try to tell the kids to believe in themselves. You know what I'm saying? What you do, what you put in is what you're going to get out. You know what I'm saying? Because you can look at anybody any given day and think that it's going to turn around for you, which is not. But you're the one who has to put in the hard work. You're the one who has to really put in that hard work and know what it is to be on the escalator where I was at.
Tremendous stuff. Anything was saying closing out there to the fans? Fans out there. We got people all over the world watching this. And
well, I would like to say 2 things. One, I would like everybody that's in the tri-state area to come out on Saturday night to see Perez and AIkens fight.
It's a terrific card, too.
Terrific card, and come out and see these guys fight for the New Jersey State title. And for all the kids that's out here watching and all the fans, I thank you and I appreciate for the years that you followed me, you helped me, you were there to be an inspiration for me and do all the things to help me get to where I need to be and where I need to go. And I hope we can do that for the generation nowadays.
Terrific stuff. Former contender. Ivan Robinson fought for the world title, I believe, against Philip Holiday, if I'm not mistaken. There you are.
Yeah, you already know that. Stop playing,
No,
man.
stop.
Why you always doing that? You do that all the time.
Well, so because I just want to make sure I'm right. I don't know.
You already know you right. It pop in your head, you know you right, Mark.
Oh my God.
To the all I want to say is just to the best to the best sports writers, to the best internet guys, to all and above and beyond. Mark, you're doing a great job, man. You need to school some young boys, man, so they can one day you're gonna have this job, passed over. So
you know what? I try, but there are a lot of times where people don't want to listen.
No, you got to listen.
They don't want to listen.
Yeah, I understand, but you got to listen. That's just fighters.
You're talking about respecting you, respect your elders. I don't know, for some reason I can't get that. I'm not. But the thing is, I still look like I'm 25. So
that's good. You're gonna be around for a while. But trust me, you're gonna get somebody that's gonna leech on. Somebody gonna come and leech on.
It's already started.
Well, see, then you good.
It's already started.
Well, then you're doing a good thing, man. You're doing a good thing, and I appreciate it, and I thank you for being around for so long, man, and keeping up with my career.
We talked about this. I've been around as long as you have.
Oh man, yeah, not long as me. So you making me old today. That's cool. I take that.
How old are you?
47.
I'm 45. So
see, look, it's crazy. You just started late. That's all. I started early.
Ivan Robinson, the mighty Ivan Robinson.
Thanks, Mark.
We'll be back with a couple words with DeCarlo Perez as soon as he's done in the squared circle in front of us. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Last round. You gotta get him out of there. It's time to get him out of there. Get up. Seconds out. Stay heavy. Roll them legs. There you go. Get him out of there. Stay heavy on him now. Stay heavy. Get him out of there. Come on. Boom, 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 boom. Stay heavy. There you go. Stay heavy. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. Stay heavy on boom, 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 boom. Last shot. Throw your leg. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. Stay heavy on him. Get him out there. Let the referee stop. Boom, 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 boom. Let the referee stop. You have to put that attention. There you go. Throw your leg. Boom, boom. Stay on him. Stay on him. Boom. La cabeza. Come on. Boom, 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 boom. Stay on him. Don't let him breathe. Come on. Get him. Boom, 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 boom. Hold the shots. Hold the shots. Boom, 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 boom. Stay on him. Come on. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Don't let him punch. punching, keep punching. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Come on. Boom, 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 boom. Give me 10, right from there, 10. Boom, 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 boom. Slide with him, get him out of there, 20, give him 20. Boom.
Sit. Good. Sit. Hard.
Keep moving. 3 shots. Boom. Get him out of there. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. 5. Come on, Mark. Let's finish this. Mark, come on. Mark Abrams said he predicts Carlos win by 9. That's what Mark said. He predicts he'll win by You ever chase somebody faster than where you timed it in? You never did that, Jeff? I mean, you're running like this.
When I was a child, I used to do that all the time. Push. Or the push, yeah, the push. That's the biggest one, the push. Push is the biggest one.
We are back with the other half of our main event. Let me grab this.
Hey, how's it going today, Mark? How you doing?
Good. Hold on 1 second here. Just wanna. We're with DeCarlo Perez, and Saturday night taking on AIkens, crosstown rivalry, Atlantic City against Atlantic City. For 3 days out, what's your mindset?
Focus. 110% focus on Saturday night. That is it. Nothing else.
What's it mean to be fighting a guy you've probably known 10, 12 years, Antowyan, you've known him a long time? What's that mean to you?
Honestly, you want to know whether it was now, whether it was now, or whether it was in the future. To be honest, if he feels that he's the best 168 in the area, I feel that I'm the best 168 in the area. Let's at least have the common courtesy to sit there, dish it out, and sit there and see who's top dog at the 168 division in the Atlantic City area.
There's been some talk on the social media and stuff. It's good for
It's good for publicity, but I don't pay attention to it. Talk is cheap. He still has to get in there and do his job. Well, you've seen his fights. You've seen him fight before on the big networks, and he still talk then. So you know what he's capable of. And you sit there, you see me go on the big networks, and you see what I'm capable of. And I don't do no talking. I let my fist talk. Talk is cheap.
You think this is a fight? I mean, when I was talking to Antoine, if you look at each other's records, kind of it mirrors each other. You guys have both, you started off your careers winning. Couple speed bumps. Like you said, you fought on national TV. You won a couple, lost a couple. You know, and now you look at you guys look at his career. Your career is kind of a little bit mirror images, a little bit.
No, not at all. Because I fought the tougher fighters. I fought the tougher fighters. I fought the bigger names. My last 10 opponents would be able to go in there and do work with them, and if not easy work. And I actually, honestly, one out of my last 10 opponents was able to do some work with them.
You look at this as maybe a fight of. I don't want to say desperation, but you guys both need that big win.
Yeah, we both need the win. We both need the W. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be walking out with my hands held high that night.
What's the difference of this fight going to be?
The difference of this fight is going to be the intensity and the tenacity going into this fight. Not only that, everybody knows I'm already a smart fighter. I pick my shots patiently, and I pick my time patiently. My conditioning has always been phenomenal. My mindset right now has been the only key to everything that I do in training camp, and my mindset is 110% on beating Antowyan Saturday night. You guys have both fought, good competition. What's that one fight that you say to yourself, that's the fight that I learned the most from? The Tyrone Brunson fight was the toughest fight that I could sit there and say I learned the most from. I was down, I was out, I was hurt, but I got back up, and I was actually able, if you could go back and look at it, I was actually able to go back and win that round too as well. And it's ironic, it's a fight where Brunson was going through a little rough part in his career, and then he's resurrected himself, and that actually made it even better. It makes your win look even better. And the other fight I know probably doesn't sit too well. Rob Brandt now is going to fight for a world title. When you see that, you're close. Like you say, Ronald Gabriel sat there, fought Benavidez. After my fight. How do you say? Rob Brandt sat there and fought afterwards. You want something? It goes to show you the caliber of fighters that I'm fighting, and the caliber of fighters that Antowyan is fighting. I'm fighting fighters that have fought for world titles, that are going out there and putting everything on the line with those guys. But you want to know something? I'm going to make my way back to the top. It lets you know the quality of fighter that I am too. Now, whether I lost on decision, whether I lost on stoppage, it doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, the quality of fighters shows you the two different the differences in both of us. Yeah, I know. When I talked to you on the phone the other day, I remember you as a welterweight, yes, and junior middle. Yes. 160. I know you fought a couple fights in the mid 160s. Last few fights. 168 pounds. You said you don't have to really kill yourself now to make weight. Yeah, I don't have to sit there and punish myself to make the weight. I don't have to sit there and truly hurt myself to make 160 or 168. You want to know something? When it comes to the weight, it all comes down to opportunity. Mm-hmm. And when a door of opportunity opens and you're ready and you're prepared for it and you ask for it, you sit there, you step through that door, and you don't crack that door open, but you run through it. Is this the first time you've fought a guy who you've known for so long and sparred with? I know you guys have sparred in the past. No. How do you say? I mean, I fought Shimon Alvarez when I had. I remember that fight exactly. I fought Shimon Alvarez when I had quite a few fights, mm-hmm, and I was able to go out there and get the W over him, and I'm glad to see that he's doing very well now. But you want to know something? Even that fight right there goes to show that there's a difference from sparring somebody, and then there's a big difference. There's a difference from sparring somebody, and then there's a difference from actually being in that ring and fighting somebody. Talk about that. Is it like an intensity thing? It's an intensity thing, because in the gym you're trying to help each other. In the gym you're trying to sit there and better each other and hone your skill and hone your craft. In that ring, under those lights, when it comes fight time, and those lights are on your face, and the whole crowd is watching you, what it comes down to is he's trying to take food off my family's plate. He's trying to take a roof over their heads. What's a win do for you on Saturday night? Honestly, what a win does for me is just a little momentum. What a win does for me is a little push, and that's all I need. Because honestly, I'm like the juggernaut. Once I gain a little momentum, there's no stopping me. I'm going to get back on a great win streak. I'm going to get back in the top 10, and hopefully, and looking for next year to fight for a title. Kind of the theme I've been asking everyone in terms of some of the questions I've been asking. Most of the people have sat down with me today. There's been some big cards in Atlantic City over the last couple months, and Rising Star, they're doing a tremendous job in keeping Atlantic City boxing alive. They haven't. Now with some of the bigger fights, and you being an Atlantic City guy, how much, have you thought about maybe one of those fights that you've had to travel out, and Gabriel and Brandon, or they've been all on the West Coast,
you ever envision yourself maybe getting one of these bigger fights?
You want to know something? At the end of the day, I was born in this city. I was born in this great town. This city made me along with my struggles and all that other stuff. It made me who I am, the man today. I would love to sit here and fight for my city and put my city on my back and show people that you can come from the ghetto, you can come from the slums, you can come from the mission, you can come from the Salvation Army, but you can come out on top and you can do everything that you have to as long as you put the work. Don't stop, don't stay down. You get back up and you keep putting in the work. I'm proud of being someone from Atlantic City, and I just want to be able to show people that look, I'm still here. You know, I've been out for a while. I had some time off to refocus, to go into training camp with a new mindset. And our trainer has been doing a phenomenal job with everything that we've been doing in training. The people who I sparred with are top fighters, and you know, even though I haven't been active in the ring, I'm always active while I'm going to gyms, traveling and training and sparring with the best fighters in Philly, and up north, everywhere I go. But you know, we're going to do what we have to do come Saturday night.
When you got back into training camp, they say you took a couple years off. Well, I mean, how charged was your battery by the time you got back in there?
Honestly, you want to know something? The hard part was trying to keep me out of the gym when he gave me that time off to just be able to rest and recover and get my mindset back to where it needs to be. You know, I've done a lot of how you say self stuff to mentally prepare myself. All on the beneficial side, and I'm glad with where I am. Trying to keep me out the gym was the hardest part when I was told not to.
Well, anything you want to say in closing? How you know, there's fans who are watching this all over the world. If they want to hit you up on,
look, that's fantastic. If you want to follow me on Facebook, DeCarlo Tremendo Perez. Follow me on Instagram, the DeCarlo Tremendo _, and enjoy the journey. Be a part of the journey. Be a part of the mission to show people that, you know, no matter where you come from in the world, that you can, or no matter how low you've been, that you can come out on top. Just stay focused, keep working hard, believe in your work, and you'll be okay. Come out, you know, Saturday night if you're in the area or if you have the time. Come out Saturday night, show the local fighters some support, but also be there to witness my greatness. DeCarlo Perez, known you a long time. We'll see what's next for you on Saturday night and next in the journey for you. Wish you best of luck. We'll see you tomorrow here at the press conference, Friday weigh-in, and Saturday at the fight. You know, you're going to get sick of seeing me by Saturday. No. Thank you very much. Likewise for everything, and I wish everyone the best. I wish you the best. I wish Rising Star Promotions the best. Thank you for everyone that came out and put in this the work to make this event come together. Thank you. I truly appreciate it. I'm looking forward to the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yep. That was DeCarlo Perez ending our program today here. We had a nice couple-hour program with some great guests. Thomas Lamanna, Dave Weinberg, Nahir Albright, Greg Jackson, Antowyan AIkens, DeCarlo Perez. No, we're not going to have Will Alejandro on, but maybe next time. We don't have a beep button.
No, I've changed. I've been following Jesus.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I've seen your Facebook posts over the last month. You haven't found anything.
Mark Akers, you're the best.
Thanks, Will.
Keep up the good work.
All right. Well, we will see you tomorrow here on the same Facebook channel, Facebook station, Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, for the press conference. Perez and AIkens will go face-to-face for the first time this week. I am Mark Ames. I want to thank Rising Star Promotions, Thomas Lamanna, Debbie Lamanna, Donna Duba Brooks, Cesar Gonzalez, Ron Squire, everyone who's done a great job in making this happen. We'll see you tomorrow at noon Eastern Time here on Rising Star Promotions Facebook page.